Yankees manager Joe Girardi recently met the media for his annual end-of-the-season press conference. He discussed a variety of topics, including his thoughts on how the year played out, as well as his early forecast for 2016.
Dallas Keuchel has such great movement and deception on his pitches that sometimes he tricks you with them.
You know, I look at our situation that kind of parallels Pittsburgh's in a sense that we both ran up against a pitcher that is probably going to be Cy Young that had a lot of success against the team that year. Keuchel was 2-0 against us with an ERA of 0, and they performed the way they had performed all year. That's the danger of not winning your division when you run into a one-game playoff, and if the other team happens to have a Cy Young candidate, it's tough.
The 2015 season may have ended with a tough wild-card game, a one-game loss to the Astros. The Yankees skipper had many tough decisions to make, including to not start Jacoby Ellsbury against the lefty Dallas Keuchel.
No, I had to make a decision, and as I told you, it was not an easy decision. I went through all kind of different scenarios and what these guys had done. I did what I thought was the best at the time. Did it work out? No. You know, the question I'm going to be is, you know, if you would have played Els, would it have been better? Would it have been 3 runs better? I don't know that. None of us know that.
He really is in pain. He took that cut, and he's limping around.
The injury to Mark Teixeira was a tough one to overcome due to his presence as a switch hitter, and when batting righty, his right-handed power in the middle of the lineup.
We lost a big right-handed bat. Is what happened to us, I think, really against lefties a lot. So we expect to have Tex back and healthy, and that adds a big right-handed bat. And depending on who your second baseman is, that could add a substantial bat too, which changes our club.
Many questions were answered for Girardi as the season unfolded. His bullpen roles were defined, which has him excited heading into 2016.
I mean, when I look at our bullpen, I think a lot of questions were answered. We weren't sure when we came into spring training who was going to be the closer. Andrew Miller did a tremendous job. We weren't exactly sure who was going to be our 7th inning guy. Justin Wilson did a tremendous job. So in moving forward, a lot of the questions that we had this year have been answered next year.
And the 0-2. He struck him out.
The bullpen, and in particular, Dylan Betances, threw a lot of innings in 2015. It was something that Girardi was monitoring closely.
There were a lot of question marks on me about how much I used Dylan and during the course of the season, and was I using him more. He threw 5 more pitches in the regular season this year than last year. So I was cognizant of his workload. I studied his workload the year that he was in AAA and had so much success out of the bullpen. I mean, I could even show, I have a card in my locker that had the amount of pitches, the amount of innings, the amount of games for April of 2014-15. I had it all written down, so it wasn't like I wasn't paying attention.
Adam Warren was an important player to the team, but Girardi admits moving him back to the rotation seemed to weaken the bullpen down the stretch.
When Adam went back into the rotation, it changed our bullpen dramatically, and that was the one thing that I talked about. When we moved him out of the rotation into the bullpen, it made our bullpen deeper. It made the game where you were losing 2-1 in the 5th inning, where you could go to him and expect the score to stay relatively close to the same and give us a real opportunity to come back and win the game. He was as valuable as any pitcher we had during the course of the season because of the opportunities he gave our team to win games. If you look at our club, and if guys would have had some of the offensive numbers that they had in the first 4 months, the last 2 months, I think we substantially would have had more wins. And I think it's possible we would have won our division. I know that didn't happen, and those are reasons that we have to sort out as an organization, and probably more me as a manager. We won 87 games. And, you know, we had some guys that really had some tough second half. And if they have the same second half as the first half, I think it's a much different story. I think there's more depth in our organization as these kids get closer, as we have to go to people because of injuries. So I expect us to be better.